Yeah, that body's a blessing, girl. I ain't tryna pressure her, but she messed with the temperature. Heart wrote the song, but I am the messenger.
Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Geeson, and you are tuned into Geez 954. Alright, folks, today for this video, as per request from some of my subscribers in the comments section, I thought that we would do something a little bit different, and we will talk about strategies, advanced, I don't want to say combos, but advanced technical things that Voldo can do after the patch. What's good, what works, and also generally how to approach playing him when versus people who are, you know, at least adequate with their players, with their you know, characters that they use. So first off, before I even get started, I'd like to say a couple of things. One is that the biggest advantage that Voldo has when fighting anybody is his unpredictability. That's the good thing that he has going for him. You know, most characters have reach, some have, you know, crazy long combos. For Voldo, it's his unpredictability. And I also want to put a disclaimer in here while I'm at it, is I'm going to show you guys a couple of things, but like I said, his unpredictability is his greatest asset. So take what I show you, I don't want to say with a grain of salt, but take it, go to the training mode, add something else to, you know, to what I'm telling you, so you have your own flavor and your own spice to it. Because after you're done watching this video, you'll understand what I'm saying, is that if all the Voldo players played exactly the same, then you're doing it wrong. Because then the people will anticipate exactly what's going to happen, and that's why people are getting, you know, they're just getting raped in online ranked. It's because they're looking online, they're looking at what people are showing them, and they're copying exactly what they're doing. Now you wanna have an idea of what you're doing, but you don't want to do it that way. All right? Because if your opponent is guessing more often than not, then like I said, you're doing it wrong. Now, when you're fighting online in ranked, there's generally two types of players that you'll encounter. They are the range players, who will want to keep you at range with, you know, with very long horizontals, stuff like that, i.e. Ivy, Voldo, Nightmare, Songmina, Killik, Zasalamel. And then there's everybody else. People who want to play, you know, in the neutral or the mid game or very close. They're the ones that will either rush you down, or they'll put a lot of pressure on you to keep you from getting your mix-up started, to keep you from you know, getting set up to where you could do your 50-50s. Now personally, I find the latter of the player base to be the ones that are most frustrating, because they will be the ones that will knock you down, not let you get back up, not let you get started, and not let you get situated. So with that out the way, let's get started into some of the basic things that I want to talk about. Now, for most people, they say that they have trouble getting in with Voldo, you know, because he has short reach and it's very hard to get in, especially with some of the players with the longer reach. So everybody, well, for everybody who doesn't know, one of the main ways to get in with Voldo is his forward B or forward BK, which is this. That's forward B, or you got forward B and K. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that's a good move, and it's good. The B part is good for catching sidesteppers, and the reach for it, as you can see, is pretty long. The problem with this is, it's been what? It's been several months now, and people anticipate this. People are waiting for this. They know that this is finna happen, and usually what they'll do is they'll duck the B part and they'll punish you for it. So I'm going to give you guys some other alternatives for getting into the strike zone, as I like to call it when playing with Voldo. Another good way to get in is your dashing A. Oh, that's not it. This right here. As you can see, it hits mid, and the cool thing about it is the ducking motion right there. The ducking motion will duck under highs and some mids. Not everybody's mids, but it will duck under some mids. Now, actually, I have to apologize because I was doing it wrong. Because that's it right there. Let me get away from the wall. So that's the regular one. If you hold the dashing A, it'll put you into Mantis, the Mantis crawl, which, you know, that can lead to other possible, you know, mix-up opportunities right there. So just remember that forward dashing A, it will duck under highs. It will also catch people that are trying to sidestep you. So if you have a lot of problems with people sidestepping, that's a good option. Another good option that I find for getting in is your Mantis crawl or your Callisto rush into the I forgot what the name of it is, but it's your grab, that right there. Now there's two different ways you can initiate this. You can just do the diagonal forward for the Mantis crawl like that, or you can be a little sneaky, which is what I like to do, which is to do a forward B held, which will put you into the Callisto rush in that way. Now you may be asking, well, what if they sidestep, or, you know, what if they anticipate it and they block it? And that would be the entire point. I'm about to show you this in a minute. See, what I like to do, me personally, is I would like to go into this right here. I know it's gonna whiff, then I would jump over their heads and immediately go into a down B, because most people have some kind of back move that's very easy for them to pull off, and this right here will have you ducking under most of the stuff that they can do, you know, unless they're like Zasa Lamel or somebody who have crazy, you know, they have crazy moves from the back. So yeah, you know what, don't do it on Zasa Lamel, but for almost everybody else, it's a good thing to have. But remember what I said in the beginning of the video, make sure that you check in the move list to see if you can find something that'll fit your play style, you know, better than that. But for right now, this will work. And as a bonus, you can also do the down A be held, which will also put you into Mantis. Now, a lot of my people who play Voldo, you know, they're mad about the patch, because the head towards Mantis dash, you know, which used to be a lethal hit on pretty much anything, no matter what they were doing, as long as they were standing. Actually, even when they were standing or when they were grounded, it was basically a lethal hit on everything. But there are some instances where the Mantis will be a lethal hit, which I can't show you here because I would have to, actually, you know what, let me see if I can do it. No, it'd have to be a special instance to where it'll have to be a special instance where they're grounded and you do the head towards Callisto rush on them, then you can get it. But see, not even then. It's weird. So it's weird to do. It's something, I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's not even something that I pull off very often, so it's not something that I rely on anymore. So if you're looking for that lethal hit, that low lethal hit from the Mantis crawl dash, don't look for it. Just be happy if you get it. You will get it sometimes, but don't count on it. So okay, let's continue on. So let's say you've already got into the striking distance. What should you do when you're here? Now, a lot of people like to use the AA for, you know, trying to crush people that are going horizontal, you know, trying to sidestep them. That's a good one to use sometimes, but mostly, I know this sounds counterproductive, but use the back A. The back A tracks very well, and honestly, because most people don't use it, it's something that you don't really see. Also, the back AB, don't hold it, just use it. That also tracks very well for people that are sidestepping. Also, for people who are just spamming A, your back B combo, which I'm about to show you here in a minute, which will be, you know, your back B into, well, actually, let me explain it to you first. It'll be your back B, then you will automatically go into the back B, then you will do dashing forward B, and then you can do another back B. So it'll be back B again, another dashing back B, and then back B. That's basically like a bread and butter combo right there. It catches a lot of people because now it actually tracks better than what it did before. That was one of the few buffs that he got. So yeah, that was a ring out, but yeah, that's basically what it looks like. That's a good combo to get when you're in there. But because you want to keep people on their toes, because like I said, his unpredictability is one of his best assets. You could go there. Let me get you away from there. You could go there, like that. You could go for a Callisto rush right there, which, you know, after the patch now, it will do a position change for them. And don't worry, we'll talk about that position change here in a minute. You can go that way. You can go... Oh, I'm in the wrong place. There we go. You could go back B, like that, and then hit him with an overhead. You could go that. You could go up B. Now, most people ask me, whenever they see me in that position, why do I always do 2 up Bs like that? And that's because you will be surprised at how many people you catch with that 2 up B. So it'll look like this. Then another one, and then you do K. Most, you know, after that, you have a couple of options too. When you're on the ground, like that, you have a couple of options. You can do K to get up. You can do a rising K. The rising B will probably be your best option because the rising B gives you a hard knockdown, which you could do down AB and do a restand into a throw. But I will tell you right now, if you do this rising B and get the restand off of down AB and then you get this throw, do not rely on this for a lot, because people, or at least good players, they will by now will already know that would be the case, that you'll try and get that grab off of that, and they will try and duck it so they can punish you. So a good thing that you can do is from the rising, get your down AB. After that, do the diagonal BB, but hold it though, because you know you have this one and you got this one. So the difference between those two is that one is just regular, but this one you're guaranteed to get an extended combo off your diagonal back A. If you didn't know, your diagonal back A is that which pulls them in. You're guaranteed to get that after your diagonal forward, your diagonal down BB, hold the second one. And then you can extend that with back BB, which is also good. Or you can extend it with, or you can extend it with your down AB, held or not. So you see, there's still a lot of mix-up options for Voldo. None of that is taken away from him at all. You know, the mix up with his blind stance and his forward stance are still very strong. If you want to boil it down, they basically just took away the lethal hit on the Mantis Rush, and there are some weird instances which I can't show you here because you actually have to be playing an actual game with a human person, but some of the transitions between stances are weird. You know, some things that you know for a fact would connect, they won't. Like, I've had some instances where when you get a lethal off of B with your feet first, usually, you know, that'll be a lethal. You can go into dashing back B to do that kick. Sometimes that will not connect at all. I've had other instances when your feet forward and you go to do the A, like the A, like if you're even at the right distance, the A won't connect. You know, that's another thing. You know, I think that, I don't know if that was their intention for doing that, but yeah, those are weird instances that once you see them, then, you know, there's not really nothing you can do about it because that's just how the patch is. But hey, sometimes, you know, it's cost me a couple of matches and I'm pretty pissed about it, but you know, it is what it is. So let's talk about the thing that most people are pissed about, which is this Callisto Rush position change. Now, what do I think about this? This thing, I honestly don't, I really don't know what to tell you about it, because they did this in such a way that it is almost impossible to have any kind of follow-up. So, unless you got that lethal hit, there really isn't a follow-up to this, because as you can see, I can do this. I can do the B. The first hit will always whiff. Remember that. The first hit from this position change will always whiff. Depending on the character, the second one may whiff too. You know? So that's off the table. You can try and do the K, but the K will also whiff. You'll have to do 2 of them just so you can close the gap. So that's not really an option either. So I mean, and what else do we have? You can do A, but look at that. A also whiffs. And you may be thinking to yourself, well, Giesen, why don't you just do another Callisto Rush? Well, a couple of things with that. Number one, if you do another Callisto, first of all, they nerfed the time in between, like the what's the word I'm looking for? The recovery, there we go. The recovery from when you can do one rush to another has been lengthened. So you can't just pop off rush after rush like you could before. So let's say you wanted to just rush back in. Like, you see how slow that is now? Super slow. The other people, your opponent will already be on their feet by then. And not to mention the double rush. But pre-patch, the double rush still would be viable, because even when they blocked, you can still protect yourself with the B, with your BK, which is your guard impact. Which actually, I'm glad I brought that up because I wanted to talk about it. Because now when you rush in, they want to make it like, you know, they've made the Mantis Crawl Rush viable now, or after the patch it's still viable, but I don't know, because like I said, usually when you're in the Mantis Rush, people are already blocking low because they already know. It used to be okay because you used to rush in and then you can immediately do a guard impact, but they've nerfed the time. Well, especially if you're head first. If you're head first, then you're far away. Look at that. Did you see that? Did you see how long that was? If they're blocking that, you are about to be punished to high heaven. Super, and I'm pressing it. I'm pressing it as soon as it happens. When it's feet first, I'm thinking the distance, the time is different. See? So if your feet first, it's still pretty viable to do. you know, as a protection if they block. But if you are feet, I mean, I guess people must have really been complaining about feet first, about head first mantis rush, because even trying to get that guard break off of it that's not something that you can do anymore. So remember that feet first, mantis rush. If you anticipate that it's going to be a block, hey, you can still do it, and you can still throw in that BK for the guard impact in case they're trying to punish you. So feet first, good. Head first, bad. So I think that's pretty much it for, you know, basic things that I have to talk about with Voldo. As far as, you know, the things that are after the patch, you know, those are just some basic things to tell people. If there's any more that I can think of, I'll definitely make a part 2. But if you found this video interesting, you know, go ahead and click that like button. You know, it always helps me out. If you have any questions at all, you can post them in the comments. I read every single comment, so I will be happy to answer any questions that you have, any, you know, further things that you want to talk about with our main GIMP overlord. So I think with that, I will end this video right here, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me, even if it's fake.